Gracenote has been a content metadata company for decades. We've established business powering search and discovery across all the major CTV platforms. Gives us a great purview of how we're seeing ad buying on these platforms and how data can power it. So what we see for the AI and experiences it's providing, it's helping match the brand or the buyer's intent with the actual content itself. So brands have goals. Sometimes they're reach and frequency, sometimes they're to reach a specific audience, and sometimes it's to have their message show up against a specific type of content. That is more and more being happening in a conversation, a ChatGPT, Gemini-like experience, and then that output is getting matched to the data. So we see more and more optimization both in real time and pre-campaign and post-campaign reporting of how that data is coupled, but also how it is resulting in the outcomes that the brand wants.
Gracenote has long powered content discovery, so how now is that same metadata changing how advertisers plan and buy CTV?
Great. Yeah, we've been in the content discovery business for decades, very proud of it. The Gracenote ID or the TMS ID is sort of the canonical reference, source of truth of what a piece of content is, right? That ability for different systems to transact on that and unlock the data associated with it becomes a critical piece. So what we're seeing there is that it's transforming what it looks like. What we're seeing there is the scale and ability to understand what the content is increasing rapidly. It's always been CTV buys based on things like an IP address or a app level, things like that. We're now able to get more scale on specific targeting of what the actual content is to help the brands find where they want their message to show up against.
So buyers want more confidence in their placements. What kind of breakthroughs in program level visibility are making that possible?
It's been, if we go back to linear days, that's how ads were always bought. It was just based on the content. I don't know, you bought The Cosby Show, you bought Monday Night Football. We are kind of seeing a little bit of a migration back, although not specifically at the show, but more at like the type of content, the genre, maybe the series, whether it's live or not. We're seeing more attributes come in to help articulate and get more specific about that buy. How it's evolving is that we're able to do that more at scale. I think we've talked about a long time in the industry around things like specific moments inside of a show, whether it's romantic, whether it's action. That's going to be more and more standardized and also able to buy at scale. There's a little bit of a balance I see there where things sound great and maybe they're fun to do in trial, but brands need to reach and they need to tell their stories at scale. So we need standard types of, we need standard taxonomies around things, and we need to have the scale so money can be spent against it.
How is contextual relevance evolving in TV?
I'd say there are two areas, probably the most impactful. The first is contextual relevance is evolving to become a signal to optimize how performance is. So right now, traditionally, ads, especially in walled gardens, are optimized in real time a lot on like purchases, app installs. It's tied to user data. I expect we'll see on CTV that the contextual data is the signal. What is working, what is not, what is giving this campaign the performance I need, and will be used as a component of that optimization engine. So it's real-time optimization. The second how it's evolving is scale. Brands have not been able to put enough of their spend to use on CTV with contextual. Just the scale of the IDs are not there. We're starting to see standardized IDs. We're starting to see ways to buy at more scale. And it's time to get brands back to sort of revisit these things they've looked at for a couple years, because now you can actually use your campaign spend at a meaningful amount.
Looking ahead this year, which new metadata signals are you seeing as most promising?
The most promising new metadata signals, let's see. I think the first is, we've talked a lot in the industry about scene level. It's exciting. It only works if you can do it at scale. So, hey, someone's in, I don't know, shower scene, going to sell them soap. How many shower scenes are there? There are not that many. We need things that work at scale, and we also need standardized taxonomies against them. So what we're seeing working is we will start to go within the scene, maybe outside of just sort of the app level, but we will start to see that happen in a standardized ways so buyers can do it and spend their budgets at scale. So that's one piece. The other is I'll go back to is the number of IDs where we can help understand what's happening in that content will really start to increase. We've really not had that in CTV. We've had app level, maybe we've had a channel, right? But we're really going to start to see the availability of IDs to help target or sort of block against where you want your spend to go. So scale and scene level.